the way that we're going to review this today and kind of show you, I'm going to show you essentially two ways of setting up and selling programs online, the way that FitHive is currently built and designed, right? And the first way I'm going to show you is just the super basic, easy way to get a program up and running and start selling it online, right? The next way, I'm going to show you some advanced ways of handling the programming section, setting up forms, redirects, that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend as you're building this out or as you need, feel free to reach out to us, comment under the group, or go back and rewatch this video. The first way I'm going to show you, and as we go through this process, usually when you talk online, you're either talking about selling something for like a low barrier offer for online programming, which is probably $200 or less a month is what would be considered low barrier. And then you've got high ticket, which would be considered that above $200 a month. There's some online coaches selling programs for $3,000 to $6,000 for a 12 to 16 week program, right? And as you're starting to build your program out, really start to think about the price point and how much data you're going to want from that person to provide them with the results and the value that you're selling it. And I'm going to start off I'll share my screen here. Start off with just some of the basic stuff with selling programs online. So I'm going to go to my admin portal. So we're inside the Hive. Excuse me. And inside the Hive, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Somebody pop on, make sure. All right, cool. Excuse me. So inside the admin portal, the first thing that you want to think about is setting up the membership that you would like to actually sell online. So you can use this for brick and mortar. You can sell this for online. So when you set up your program or your membership, I think I just built one out. Nope, I'm just going to use this one. And I'm just going to name this my Ollie program that I'm going to sell online, right? Just so I have it at the very top. Biggest thing here is you want to make it set up for self sign up enabled. Okay. If you'd like to sell this program to existing clients inside the app, I'm going to show you how to do that, but you want to make sure that it's allow previous and existing members to sign up. That way, if they want to purchase it, they can. And then this is going to be the self sign up link that we're going to use in funnels or sending to people or in your ads or wherever it might be. Now with online programs, with the renewal part of this, and this is one thing that everybody kind of asks for. If you have an expiration on the program, you can set this up. Obviously, just don't auto renew if it's not a monthly thing, if it's a one-time purchase. If it's a one-time purchase that they can always have and you want them to always have access to the app, the easiest way to do this is just set it for 10 years. That way, whenever they log in for the next 10 years, they have access to that specific program. Excuse me. If you want this to be a monthly program, just like how you're setting everything else up, you can set it up for monthly or let's say it's 16 weeks or 90 days or whatever it may be, you can set that here. And on these, if this is an online only program, right? I would set the general check-in as no, class check-in or schedule use no, because you'll have access to those things on accident inside the app. Mobility and nutrition. So if you haven't used this before, there is a mobility section that's built into the app. There's also a nutrition section built into the app, into the system. Both of those can be self-serve. So if you want to add value to your online coaching program, whether you're just giving it to them or you're upselling, you want to determine if you want to give them access to the program or not inside the app. So once you have that, we'll just hit save. Now you've got your program or your membership for your point of sale online. So what this would look like if you're going to send it to someone is if they want to sign up for it, you can put a description here. Recommend putting as much of a description there as possible. Inside of the membership, you can put a picture, a full description for the self sign up. So if you want to make it look a little nicer, you can. They put in their email. The next screen, if they're a non-existing client, it's going to ask them to put in their credit card information and set up an account. Now, before you push this out into the world, what you need to do is create a program inside the program section. And when you create this program, I'm going to show you how to create one, and then I'm going to go back and show you a couple of ideas here. So you'll give it a name, you'll give it a description. If you're going to sell this online without a sales presentation, I would give as much of a description of this program as you possibly can. Now there's two options for the program the way it sits right now. You have a live program. A live program is calendar based. So this would be if you're writing a monthly program and you want all your online clients to be doing the same workout every day with everybody else. So this Monday, everybody would see the same workout. This Wednesday, they would see the same workout, right? The next one is a static program. The static program is really what you're designing and what your philosophy might be to get it out into the world. So a static program, a good example of this, let's say you create an 8-week Olympic lifting program, right? And you design it, you spend a ton of time building it out, making it, and you're like, you know what, I don't really care if somebody purchases it today, next week, a month from now. Whenever they do purchase it and they start the program, because the static program will automatically start, but when they first start the program, this is where no matter when they buy it and when they start it, they will always start on day one. This is really nice if, let's say you spend a ton of time and you've created a year's worth of programming and you're like, man, I really like to resell my work. Well, making a static program would be the way to do that, because if somebody joined today, they would start on day one. If somebody joined in 6 months, they would still start on day one. So you don't have to redo all of that programming. In a live program, right, you can't reuse that that programming unless you move it or copy it to the front of that calendar. So you just got to really think of which one you want to do and how you want to set it up. Both programs, though, can be a one-time purchase based upon the membership type, or it can be an ongoing monthly, weekly, every 6 weeks, however you want to set that up. Next thing you want to do, this is going to be mainly focused on if you're going to sell it inside the app, especially to your existing clients. So you want to put an image URL that'll give a picture. I'll show you where that shows up at. You can also put a video in there if you have a promotional video or an on-demand video that will show people what that program's all about to help you sell it. You also have these categories, and the way to look at these categories, I'll pull up the app itself or an example of it. There we go. So inside the app, you can put the programs out there, and if somebody browses, this is the categories, right? So you can kind of think of it like folders and housing the programs that you have. So this is really nice if you create programs that are a la carte that your clients can take advantage of, whether it's in the gym, out of the gym, online. So let's say you sell a 30-day challenge of some sort, and it has 30 days of workouts. And then you're like, hey, you can also do this 6-week program right afterwards. Or, hey, you can go ahead and join my monthly reoccurring workouts. This is where those would be housed. The picture shows up here. And then if you had a video, it would show up here as well in terms of whatever programs that you have. Now, you'll notice that there's different programs here. If you have programs that go along with that one, or additional programs that could go along with this, you can add the programs here. So it just kind of links them together in terms of being able to switch back and forth, but know that they're purchasing those if you link them together. So you can pick your category here if you like. You want to make it self-sign up so people can actually sign up for it on their own. If you want to sell it to existing members, you want to make it visible. And then right here is where you're going to actually connect this program to a specific membership. So if you just do members only, that's going to have anybody that is a member can view it, get access to it, enroll themselves, that kind of thing. And then what you got to do is restrict the membership to that specific membership itself. And then you're just going to hit save. I didn't create the membership or the program, but you'll hit save. And what that just did is it would connect anybody that purchases this specific membership can now go in to the app, find the membership or the program that they purchased and enroll themselves. So this is one big key that a lot of people have asked about and asked about why. So unless you go in and actually, let me see if I can find a program here. I've got so many things up here. Let's see if I got something in my at-home program. Let's go. I've already built those out. There we go. Sign up for this program. So the big thing here is when somebody purchases the membership, it won't automatically load it in their programs. They actually have to go to the program and actually start the program itself. A lot of people have also asked if somebody wants to buy like 5 programs, they can only be enrolled in 2 programs manually or automatically, or not automatically, but with self-serve. You on the back end can enroll them into multiple programs for them to have access to, but they'll have to switch back and forth if they're with 2 programs themselves. So that's a super basic, simplified version of selling it. So you technically, if you have created the membership, created the program, and added that program to that membership, right? Added it to that membership. When somebody buys that program through this link, they can get access to the app, and then they can start the program whenever they like to start the program. So that's one way of selling a program online. Pretty simple, pretty easy in that manner. Okay. Now, where it becomes fun, and depending on what kind of access you want, right? Creating the program itself inside of the Hive and the program is where you can get pretty crazy with it. So I'm going to show you an example here of a program. I believe this is the one that we always mess with here first. Yeah, cool. So this is a program that I typically demo inside the app. So you can kind of think of the end user experience based upon how you want things to kind of be set up and how you want to add value to this program. So if this is somebody completely online, it's a low barrier offer, but you just want to create as much value as possible without having to do a ton of work. I'll show you a couple of things that you can do to add that value. It also adds more pages to your website for SEO. It helps with traffic and additional things like that. But for example, you can add links into the program. So this is a link, and you could link this out to, let's say, a form. You can also link this to a blog post. You could also link this to, as an example, a website that is locked down like a membership site. So I'm just going to create a page and I'm going to do a template. I'm just going to add something here so it has something. So this is going to be program online program, I don't know, week 1 information, right? And I don't want anybody that hasn't purchased my membership to have access to this information. And this could be videos, PDFs. It could be, you know, any number of things that you want to lock down. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to restrict it. Use with memberships only, and I'm going to restrict it to that specific membership. Let's see here. AA, if I can find it. There it is. Cool. I'm going to restrict it to that membership. Okay. Once I hit save, I could take that live link and put it in the program. I think this is the one that I use. Let's just make sure. Master at home, right? Master at home. And I'm just going to go to the start. And I'm going to take my link. I'm going to edit it. And I'm going to put that in here, right? So now inside of that, it would link out, if I linked it all together, to that specific page. Because I'm clicking on it from the app, right, I'm already logged in. So the end user experience is pretty clean, easy. They can read their stuff. They can read the blog article. They can read whatever lockdown pages or information that you want them to have. This is just an example of a form. I'll show you what those look like a little bit. Inside of this, you can also set up sections. So again, depending on your programming, depending on what you want to send out, we'll deep dive into creating the program a little bit more. But there's a couple options here. You can link it out to an explanation of the day or a video of the day. You can, your clients can write notes. They can, if it's percentage based, you can show a percentage. The weights will automatically put in here. You can see the history of every time they've ever done it. So the clients will get an idea of what that looks like. You can set up multiple sections. And then this last piece down here, and I'll show you how to build this out and how it all works, right, is a check-in form. So if you're selling a higher ticket offer where you want to get notified and informed of you know, accountability, something at the end of the day, you want to be notified that's what's going on. Personally, if you're not charging over $200 a month for this, I probably wouldn't get this data every single day because it'd be difficult to comb through all of that data. But you can create a form, and let me see if I've got the right form in here. Yeah, I got the right form in here. And what's going to happen is, you know, this could be any questions that you have. I created a user form, so they're already logged in. And yep, I did drink my water. You know, this doesn't have anything in there. I'm going to submit it. And then it takes me back to my program. If this was the day that I was on, it would take me back to that specific day for today. And it would just send an email alert to whatever coach you set up for that form saying, hey, Josh just submitted his check-in form for the day. Click here and you can go and see what's going on with it. Excuse me. They can also edit and put notes on for the day. So if this is somebody that's going to be talking back to you, they can be like, wow, this day was really hard and I can't wait to do it again. All right. And then hit save. All of that information is housed under their account on the end here. So anytime that you want to see what they've programmed in or a history of what they've done, you can click that little history. It'll show you what the day's notes were, last time they did it, what their information or what they input in there. So you can see all that data. You can also, those forms that they submitted would show up here. So you can see that information. Okay. Now, how to actually build that out and some things that you can kind of do with it, right? Within the program, show you, and to add some value to it. So if you want to create a link inside of there, so if you wanted to create this kind of option where they link out to something, what you have to do is you'll add a note, you'll give it a title. So in what we did there, mental work. If you want to add a link or a button in there, you do have to add some type of note, so it just can't be a title. So we're just going to say mental work, or complete this stuff today. Add the link that you want to take it to. There we go. And label it, right? And hit add. And that will add that note with the link in it if you'd like to do so. I'm just going to delete that. Required homework. If you're adding a form, because a lot of people ask this same question, is if you're going to add a form, you've got to create the form itself. So I'm just going to find my staff. There we go. Daily habit tracker. In this form, I highly recommend making it a user form so it's always connected to that person's profile. You can also set up any notification for the email. So this could, let's say you have 2 or 3 online coaches, and those specific coaches want to be alerted when their clients complete it. They can create their own programming, create a different form, and then each form could have that specific coach on there if you like to do so. You could even set it up to have a drip campaign where it sends them thank you or, hey, great job on your work once they submit it, if you like to do so. You can apply tags when they complete it, remove tags, just like any other form. You can require a signature or not require a signature. So I would recommend the signature itself. If you are doing any type of accountability form in terms of them saying, yes, I did something, I always recommend putting that signature in, just adds an extra layer of accountability. And then right here is the fun part, right? So redirect after submission. So because we use a progressive mobile web app, in order for them to come back to that page in the programming, or that today's current day, what you've got to do is go to the app and then grab where it says your website /PWA/programs, and then whatever that number is, you grab all of that back. And this is getting into some advanced stuff. And then that's what you're going to put right here. And that will always take them back to that program for whatever today's current workout is. If you add the date in there, so see how that has the date? It will always take them back to that date, no matter what day they're on. So if you're going to use it the way that I just showed there with that redirect back to the app, so it kind of stays together, you want to have it go there. So I'm just going to put the full thing in there so I can show you what I mean. And I'm going to hit save. Once you have your form set up, now you have to make it a live page for them to be able to get to. So I'm going to just create another web page. And this is gonna be check-in form for, I don't know, Ollie program. Right? And I'm gonna lock it down. Only my membership type because I only want them to be getting to it. And find my AA. There we go. And then I'm gonna add my section. I'm gonna add my form. There we go. Awesome. That's it. I'm gonna hit save. And I've got my live link. Right? And I'm going to take my live link, go back to my program, and I'm going to put that in whatever I want. I've got some people that will use this for example, we've got a couple of high-ticket coaches that want to know and have their clients submit every morning after they do a 20-minute clarity walk, where they can submit the top 3 things they want to focus on for the day, right? So if I add that, I'm going to hit save. So required homework, or morning, whatever, right? It's going to take me over to my form. I'm going to be like, yes, or type in, my 3 things that I want to get done today. And for accountability, I'm just going to do my signature. Yep. And I'm going to hit submit. And then it'll automatically take me back to the app, just like it was meant to be, right? Which is pretty cool. You can do that same thing with like the end of the day, any type of accountability, anything like that. Then you can add, you can make these sections warm-ups. You can make them cool-downs if you like, and then have section A, B, C, however many sections that you would like. You can have, we can make this a cool-down, for example. Inside of these programs, you can create several different things here. This is just based upon programming. If you're using 1-rep maxes, you can set them up here in terms of percentages. I would play around with this in terms of building the program out, depending on how you want to set these up. Then down here, if you are doing 1-rep maxes, right, you can use the same thought process as to help, because that's another thing that people ask about is, hey, I want somebody to log their 1-rep max, but it's kind of clicking around. I don't want them to have to click around. So what you can do is, let's just take my squat day here. I'm leading up to, we'll just say reps of 1, and I want to do 100% of my back squat, right? And then I'm going to put, make sure to log your 1-rep max. And then down here in my note, that's all this is, right? I'm going to go to my app, and I just have this pulled up while you're creating it. You can go to your records. I'm going to go to my maxes, and I'm going to find my back squat, right? And then I'm going to take that link, copy it. And then once I copy it, I'm going to go back to my program, put it in here, and hit save. Cool. So I saved my program. So the way that I set up that first day is, right? Let me refresh my screen so the update's there. Cool. So my mental work, this can be anything that you want to put in there, articles, videos, whatever. Then I want them to submit their 3 things they're going to focus on today, which will look something like this. And I'm just going to sign it. And I'm going to hit submit. Because I set it to redirect back to the program, it's going to redirect me back to the day. Perfect. Cool. I'm going to do my workout, do my programming. I can see history if I've ever done it before, make my notes. I can watch my video of how it all works. Everything's good. I get down here. I want to do my 1 rep max. Awesome. I did 600 pounds for one. Never done that in my life, but again, I can see history. And then because it says make sure to log your 1 rep max, because I put that link in there, now I can be like, all right, I'm going to log my 1 rep max. And it just brings me over. All right, cool, 600 pounds. And then I hit submit, right? And then I log my 1 rep max accordingly to do so. And then finally, I'm going to end the day with my daily check-in form. And this could be anything. Again, if you want to be alerted for it, you can set that up. So the end user experience, right? They haven't left the program. They haven't left the day, but they've been able to watch the videos. They've been able to watch homework. They can make notes on the day to let the coach know what's going on. They've submitted their homework for the morning. They've done their workouts. They've logged their 1 rep max, and they've completed that daily check-in form that you may want them to have. Now, I say all of this, that has produced a lot of data for the coach to review, or the client might be expecting you to review. So if you add the different forms in there, you add the different notes, and you ask them to do those things, then I highly recommend selling it for $350, $400, $500, even there's some online coaches selling it for $1,000 a month. But they're looking at the data, they're reaching out to their clients saying, hey, great job, that kind of stuff when they get those alerts as they go. Any questions so far, guys? Cool. So coming back to the program section, to help build this stuff out, a couple of things that you can do. Sometimes people don't like to work on the day or see the whole week like this. You can come back down and go to condensed. Excuse me. Let me find it here. Detail. Oh, right here. That's what I wanted to find. You can click on that and it'll bring you to the day specifically. So if you want to be more detailed on this one day, you can do that. I always go back to the start because this is what I play around with. You can also move these days around. You can shift workouts. You can shift the full section if you like to do so. You can also copy and paste different sections. You can copy and paste different actual workouts or exercises specifically if you're going to repeat them. You can even do the full day if you like to do so and paste it somewhere, right? Yep, I'm going to paste it and paste it as we go. So it's pretty easy to add on to these programs as you go. You can also duplicate the program. So only if it's a static program, you can duplicate the entire program. So if you want to make some minor edits to for a one-on-one client, or if you're going to write the program for somebody, you can duplicate them accordingly. I'm going to just leave this so all my edits are gone. You can change the settings. Now, if you're like a lot of online coaches with high ticket stuff and you set up an enrollment call, you have the consultation, you tell them, yep, everything's good, and you want to enroll them after they purchase, because we do have some people that will send out purchase forms, and I'll show you what that looks like when you're selling online. But at the end of it, you're going to enroll them into a program after you've edited it and you've set them up correctly. So let's just say this is a program, and I'm going to find my at home again. And this program, I think it's going to be perfect for my new client, but I want to make some edits to it. So I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to change in the settings. This is going to be, let's say, John's new program. All right. And I'm just going to hit save. And I'm only going to enroll John. So I hit enroll user, click, and I'm just going to, I don't know if there's a John in there. We'll just go with, sure, go with that one. Now, if I was selling this to a higher ticket client, personal training client, something like that, where I've going to edit and change it, and I want them to start on a specific day, I can set this up to start on, let's say, the 21st. So when he logs in on the 21st, it'll show day 1 of the static program, and I'm going to hit save. Now I can go back to his program and edit anything that I need to edit for him specifically, add notes in there, take away forms, add forms, whatever. And now John has enrolled into that program, and only John can see that program, and only John will get that information, as we make adjustments and changes from there. Now, I mentioned the more higher ticket type coaching and programming. Now, you could, and I've seen people do this, is daisy chain forms together. So I've got some people that will want to do like a lead intake form. That lead intake form is going to just capture their information. Once they capture their information, they're going to redirect them to, say, a PAR-Q. And then after they submit the PAR-Q, they're going to redirect them to, let's say, a waiver that they have to sign the contract, or the waiver, sign the waiver. Once they submit it, some people have also used this for a contract, so it can be redirected to that contract. They can sign the contract. And when you're doing waivers or contracts or anything like this, if it's a waiver specifically, the disclaimer on that is reach out to your insurance company, make sure that this counts. Most insurance companies will allow it, but I would recommend checking it out. But let's say agreement, and I want this to send it to me every time. And I'm going to make it a lead intake form. And I don't need to include this if it's just going to be the agreement afterwards, because I should have already captured that information. And I'm going to tag them with something to track them. So online agreement signed. And I'm going to require a signature, and I'm going to redirect them, because after they sign this, I'm going to want them to put payment information on file, right, and finish their purchase. So I'm going to take my sign up link, and that's what I'm going to redirect them to. Cool. Awesome. And I'm going to add my fields, and this could be, pretty much as long as you want. But we're just going to, this could be the terms and conditions. I'm going to require it. This is going to be a, we'll just say a checkbox. And I'm going to have one option. Yes, I agree. And I'm going to hit save. And you can have as many questions on there as you'd like. But when, once it's on there, I'm going to take that form just like the other form. And I'm going to add a page and online agreement form. And I'm going to add my section, form, agreement, set. Awesome. Cool. So there's my signature. And this is going to be open to the public, so anybody can get to it. I'm going to hit save. So imagine I did that 3 times for a lead intake form, a PAR-Q, and then they come to the agreement and they're like, yep, I agree. I'm going to sign it, signature, submit. Awesome. It's going to bring me over here, and then they can put their card on file and purchase. Now, when somebody purchases this agreement, and this is where it gets a little dicey for if you're an online coach and a brick and mortar. So when somebody purchases this right now, and we do plan to allow you to redirect anywhere that you want, but for now, it just redirects to. So if I purchase this, it's going to redirect me to the main My account, which is great if you require a waiver. If you're not requiring a waiver and you just want them to sign it through the form, you can do that. Just make sure you remove the requirement here. Now, what I always show is if you're going to have that kind of workflow and you want them to do it online, a lot of times you either need to do two things. One, you want to give them very clear call to action on this page. So if they're signing up for it on their phone, it would look something like this, right? Usually they get here. If you didn't have class waiver and test up there, they wouldn't really know what's going to happen next. So what you want to do and think about, if you want to change it, you can go to your settings, go to dashboard. And then if you've never used this before, there's three options here. There's a global dashboard, which will put it on the mobile app, and it will put it in the account area here. And when I say in the mobile app, what I mean by that is this section right here above the announcements. You can pretty much put anything up there that you want, but this will put it in both places. This will only put it on this dashboard inside of their account. And then this one will put it on the mobile app. So I'll just show you, I'll just delete that. And now it's gone from the top of the app. So if you're selling a program online, what I would recommend doing is setting this up accordingly. Go, guys. I got a 2-year-old coming in. So I would set this up for very clear next steps, right? So this could be something like purchase an online program. Start here, right? And this could be a, let's just go with, you could put a video. I don't know, this guy looks cool. All right, share, embed, take that. And then this could be a video of you talking and saying, hey, thank you for purchasing my program. This is the next steps that you need to do, right? Start here. And they could watch the video. You could also set this up for a quick link. So let's just say you set up a, let's go with a membership site that has that explanation on there. So I'll just click on this one, and I'm going to make it a cool large button, right? And I'm going to open up in a new window. So I'm going to hit save. So now, when they purchase it, they get redirected. And I'm just going to make it kind of obnoxious, bold, right? And then let's go bold. Is there any other? Oh, there it is. And I'm going to make it a header, right? So when somebody purchases it, they get redirected here, and it'll either look like this: purchase an online program, start here. Or it could look something like this, right? And that'll take them to whatever information you want to send them to, whatever membership site that you might have set up. This is another option. Some people like these buttons, some people don't, but you could do, let's say, a blue button. I'm just gonna take an image, and let's go blue start button. Images. Oh, that one looks good. And we're just going to take that image. And we're going to make it a little smaller. And let's just say this. This is my link to my dashboard that I want to go to. And I'm going to put that in there. Right? And I'm going to hit save. So then, if they go and they get redirected, it's, oh yeah, I do want to start. And then, cool. This is how I start the program. You can put just about anything on here. One that we've done. This is my old Gems app. We created a dashboard, so this would be something that you could put link to that button where it has different pages on there to teach them how to use the app or how to set up the app with instructions on how to set it up. You could also set this up for the videos. So these were locked down and just created on how to use the app itself. So any instructions that you want to give them beforehand. You can tell them how to refer a friend, join a Facebook group, whatever you can think of, depending on how you want to set it up. But if you put it right there in the user account dashboard, you can basically tell them whatever your next steps are. If you're doing online and brick and mortar, you could do something like this. Joining in person, start here, right? And then link that to whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna so we got that, and just to see what it looks like. Cool. So on the dashboard, if I can find where I put it. There it is. All right, it could look something like this if you wanted to do so. But there's a lot of things that you can change and adjust and adapt there as you go with selling the program. Most of that is going to be for non-existing clients or new clients when you're selling them online. If you want to sell them to existing clients, so one program that we sold a ton of, because I absolutely positively hated writing it, is a 16-week half marathon training program. Pretty good at writing it, but I always hated it, but everybody always asked for it. So we created the program, put it inside the app under the add-on section. And when somebody would ask, they could just go purchase it for $99 and then they could have it forever. So in that particular example, you still create a membership, you still write out the program, you attach the program to the membership. You can still put it out there for a purchase in a funnel or on your website or something like that. But then what you're going to want to do is go to your settings, go to this add-on section. And in that add-on section, down here at the bottom, you have the options to add a membership or a POS item. So I'm going to say membership. That membership would be the Ollie. I think I've already got it put it in there. Yep, I already got it put it in there. And I'm going to hit save. Now, next time somebody goes to the app, and they click on the add-on section. This could be your programs that you want to sell, and they could purchase them. If they already have a card on file, it would just charge the card that they have on file, and they would sign up for it. Then they could start the program accordingly. Now, if your program, I didn't mention this earlier, but if your program coincides with an email campaign or a text campaign or something like that, you can create that campaign inside of the drips, right? Just create your new client drip campaign. And then inside the membership that you want to sell, you can add, up here, add that campaign here if you wanted to. So without looking for it, you can add it there. So that way when somebody purchases it, you can immediately send them an email saying, hey, thanks for the purchase. If you have any questions about the program, let me know. By the way, here's the link to get started, right? So you could put that link in an email, in a text message, and on the landing page of the app, or excuse me, of the account profile. So that way they've theoretically have been told 3 different times on how to get to the program, use the program, and set it all up from there. Woo, okay. Any questions so far on how to set up and sell a program online? Lots of options for you. I'm going to see if there's any. You can either speak up or you can just mention them on the chat here. Good to go. Thanks, Josh. Hi, team. Thanks for watching the recording later. Got to run. Hopefully the recordings catch up. Stoked to watch the recording. I have kids to pick up. All right. Any questions on this stuff? If not, there's a couple of things that I'll kind of leave you with, right? What I would recommend doing is before you start building things out is really think about your avatar on who you want to sell to, what price point you're going to sell to, whether it's to your existing clients as an upsell, a one-time purchase, or a monthly. Are you going to try to go after new people? And if you are going to go after new people, are you going to sell a low barrier offer or are you going to sell a high ticket offer? Because those 2 things is really going to determine on how many forms you create, how much accountability you build into it, how much effort you are going to put into the program, whether it's a static program or a live program. Once you have that idea, you can start building these things out. And one nice thing about it, it's you don't want to go into paralysis thinking that you have to build a whole year's worth of programming. Depending on how long you've been a coach, usually you create a really good workout or a macro cycle and you're like, man, this is going to be amazing. And then a week into it, you're like, man, I'm going to kill somebody. And you got to go back and change it, right? With selling programs online, I highly recommend focusing on the value add at the beginning, who you're going to sell it to, how you're going to sell it to them. And then when it comes to the program itself, technically you could just build a week's worth of programming, especially if it's a static program, and start selling it. And as long as you're at least 1 week ahead of people that sign up, then you're always going to be providing them with value, depending on what that looks like for you and your facility, whether it's online or brick and mortar. Cool. Any questions, guys? Anything? I know I just filled you with a lot of stuff there. Nothing? Josh, you got anything? If Sonny's still on or Mike's still on, anything to add that you can think of?
Nope. Looks good, man.
Awesome. All right, guys, I will get this recording up on YouTube probably tomorrow. I'll share it with everybody. After you watch it a couple of times, if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to ask the Facebook group. Reach out to success@myfithive.com. Or you can schedule a chat with me and I can walk you through or answer any questions that you might have. Awesome, guys. Have a great day.